Hey, what is going on, everybody? It's Josh Thomas here from TheBitBlock. Welcome to another discussion video between myself and Rogers Base.
What is going on, everybody? And today, Mayor Joshy, what are we talking about in this discussion video?
Well, what we're gonna, jeez, Roger, I just gave myself a paper cut. Paper cut? Let's talk about the Paper Mario for Wii U news.
Okay.
Did you like that segue?
I did like that segue. I thought you were going to make a Paper Jam joke because all of us think it looks like trash.
It is trash. Paper Jam is trash. That's the BitBlock's official stance on Paper Jam. It's stupid. But happily enough, we're maybe, I guess, getting a real Paper Mario game for the Wii U. Remember the Wii U? I think that's a thing. Roger,
I think so.
Roger, give us the rundown on this news.
Sure. So this morning, Emily Rogers, who's like a really popular Nintendo journalist, alongside Dr. Cupcakes, who does like a lot of leaks for N64, and Shocking Alberto and NeoGaf, basically a whole bunch of trusted leakers, came together on Twitter and said this morning that they're going to share a rumor next week regarding a big unannounced Wii U game. And they said that they have 4 or 5 sources that have confirmed that this game exists and a lot of evidence behind it. And then a bunch of people were pushing them on Twitter. They were like, you know, what the heck is going on? Like, why don't you guys just announce this game already? And they're like, all right, whatever, it's Paper Mario. And then basically the internet was set ablaze, and somebody else did some digging, and they saw that in an Intelligent Systems like hiring booklet from the end of last year, in terms of like projects that potential employees would be working on, one of the projects listed was a Paper Mario game for Wii U. And then, well, once again, I'm looking on the thing on the NeoGaf thread right now. Emily Rogers says, rumor, 5 sources have told us a new Paper Mario will be announced this year for Wii U, and that it's being developed by Intelligent Systems, and that the game is currently, right now, being localized and tested, which means that this is probably only a couple months out.
So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff to bring up about this. First of all, I thought that the Wii U was dead, so why are they putting games on it anymore?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of stuff coming at the beginning part of this year. The beginning part of this year actually looks very strong for Wii U.
What?
Because we have Fire Emblem Shin Megami Tensei, we have Pokken, we have Star Fox, hopefully if it doesn't get delayed based on that other rumor saying it's going to get delayed to summer. We have Star Fox, and we have Twilight Princess HD. And if we get Paper Mario thrown into the mix, that's actually a really solid looking first half of the year.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
certainly better than last year, when the only thing we got at the beginning of the year was Splatoon, so...
That wasn't even the beginning of the year, that was the middle, that was like
June,
summer,
yeah.
So, okay, where do we go from this? Well, first of all, I mean, if this is true, that's fantastic. I love Paper Mario. I am even one of the few people that was kind of cool with Sticker Star. I didn't hate Sticker Star like most people. I know you disagree with that.
Yeah, I disagree with you on that. Yeah. And to be fair, I worked for Nintendo at the time Sticker Star was being marketed. That's when I was a product demonstrator, and like I always had to hold my tongue because I enjoyed the little bit of a demo that was on the system, but man, like having to play through that game afterwards, I was like not happy.
Let me ask you this: what would you rather play, Super Paper Mario or Sticker Star?
I'd rather play the best Paper Mario game of all time, Thousand Year Door. That's what I would rather play.
Well, that wasn't an option. I'm giving you...
Well, that's the options I'm giving you, so...
I think Super Paper Mario is the bastard of the series. That one is nothing like a Paper Mario game, and its visuals...
I'd still rather play Super Paper Mario than Sticker Star.
Oh, you're
nuts. At least there's... No. At least there's, like... There's character to Super Paper Mario.
Right,
like,
well,
sure,
I don't play Mario
the party
games for the
members are
story.
like weird geometric shapes or whatever, but at least like the bosses and stuff and the other characters, the bad guy Count Bleck, I mean, everybody was cool in that game at least, and there were some interesting concepts from like a story standpoint. Sticker Star was just like the same old,
Who gives a crap about
It doesn't matter. BitBlock's been PG-13 for a while now.
But who cares? I mean, it's a Mario game. Story in the I get that Paper Mario has fun stories, but if you're playing a Paper Mario game just for the story, I think that's just weird. Like, Super Paper Mario doesn't even have battling. It's just it's like it doesn't even have turn-based battling in it. So how can you possibly say that's more of a Paper Mario game than Sticker Star?
Well, I think it was more of a Paper Mario game in terms of like character and originality than I think Sticker Star was. Sticker Star just felt kind of like, oh, here's a game we're gonna churn out, and that's kind of how I feel about Paper Jam too. Those games just seem like, well, we know these are gonna sell well, so let's just churn these baby out with no character. Whereas like I don't know, some of the other games that have been already released in the Paper Mario series, games like Thousand Year Door, and even Super Paper Mario, I feel like the characters were great. I think the stories were interesting. There were cool gameplay mechanics. I don't know. I like those first 3 games. And I still I'm sort of on your side that I think Super Paper Mario is on the weak half of the series, but I certainly don't think that Sticker Star was better than Super Paper Mario.
I found the feeling that people have about Sticker Star, that's what I have towards Super Paper Mario. Like, it's such an ugly game, too. Like, there's no design going on there. It looks like Microsoft clip art for all the characters. It's like, box, circle, circle, box, diamond. There's your character, put a smile on it. It's like, no.
Well, one of the things that I think really bothered me, and this is going to kind of segue into us talking about this potential stuff for this new game. One of the things that really, really bothered me about Sticker Star's development was that when we first saw Sticker Star at E3, and it was a tech demo on 3DS, and I was there, that was like my second or third E3, and I saw this tech demo, there was a Paper Mario, basically tech demo video, and the Paper Mario game on 3DS had party characters in it. Like, they had this little Chain Chomp partner character. And I think that, like, party members are essential to having a solid Paper Mario game. I think, like, if this new one doesn't have party members, I'm not going to play it, to be honest, because I feel like the classic enemy party members are such a huge part of the first two Paper Mario games' charm and originality, and I think that's a big reason why I didn't like Super Paper Mario or Sticker Star that much, because, like, geometric shapes and stickers just don't compare to characters like Cooper or Admiral Bobbery or Watt or Vivian or Lacklister, the cool little Fonz Lakitu guy, Gonzalez, Miss Mose. I don't know, there were so many cool characters in those first two games, and I feel like they just stepped way too far away from that with the later series games.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously agree. If you're going to talk about the good Paper Mario games, you talk about the N64 game and the GameCube game. Those are the two Paper Mario games that are really fantastic. Anything outside of those two, I think, it doesn't live up to what the series was. Which is a question that I have for you. Given how long it's been since Intelligent Systems has actually made a great Paper Mario game, do you think they still have it in them? Do you think they can actually recapture that greatness of Thousand Year Door, or are they just too far gone?
No, I do think they can, of course. I mean, Intelligent Systems is an awesome developer. I love Intelligent Systems. But through the past year, I think their sort of experimentation game was Codename Steam. I think that's where they were like, oh, let's just experiment with stuff. I know, I'm with you too on that. I don't really like Codename Steam either. But regardless, they at least tried something new with that game. You know, regardless of whether or not you liked it, it was something new. And I think their, all right, let's just churn this baby out game was, was Sticker Star. So now that they're getting back in like the swing of things and going to make like a real cool original game, I do think that like this potential Wii U iteration of Paper Mario could recapture the same charm of those first two games.
I hope really so, because my the Thousand Year Door is one of those games that just hearing the soundtrack for me is just, it like affects me. It's like a real nostalgic thing for me, like hearing the Rogueport music and all that. It's like that. I know this sounds incredibly cheesy, but that game is like actual magic to me. Like, just so much about that game. It's just so brilliant. If we could ever get something of that quality again from Intelligent Systems, that would be amazing. And if it's like, let's talk about the fact that it's coming to the Wii U. Do you think that's a good or a bad thing?
I think it's good because at least we'll have one more like really good game to play, hopefully, if it is anything like Thousand Year Door 64, before NX ends up launching. Because I still am with you that I think Zelda is going to be a cross-release game. I think that Pikmin game that Miyamoto talked about before is probably an NX game, probably not coming to Wii U. And, you know, Wii U still has a lot of stuff coming in the early half of this year. We already talked about that, but I do feel like there needs to be at least one more like solid swan song type of title for Wii U. And I do think that Paper Mario could be that. And realistically, I mean, Paper Mario was the swan song for N64, the first game. So it would make sense that there would be another one this late in the life cycle of Wii U.
See, there's two things that I feel about that. First of all, I mean, Paper Mario is definitely the kind of game that you don't need a lot of horsepower to make look good. Like, Paper Mario on the Wii U is probably not going to look any worse or better than Paper Mario on NX, to be honest with you, because it's paper, right? The characters are flat. You can do, I mean, the Wii U is more than powerful enough to make a gorgeous Paper Mario game. And as far as like the gameplay goes, I'm sure they could do some fun stuff with the gamepad and whatever. So I think the Wii U is absolutely capable of delivering a brilliant Paper Mario experience. But I guess I'm really kind of, I've shifted myself into this thought process of I don't want anything great for the Wii U anymore. Just kill it, and I want to start new. I want to start fresh, a whole new palette on a new system. And I just feel like anything releasing on Wii U is sad because it's like, oh, well, that's going to flop because it's on the Wii U and it's the year 2016. So
See, I don't necessarily agree with you on that last aspect in terms of sales, because I do think that, like, so long as there are strong enough games at NX's launch, I do think that, like, Paper Mario will probably do better on the Wii U than it would on NX, because if you have Paper Mario launching on NX and then there's like a bunch of other like really big games at launch, like something like Zelda or an actual 3D Mario or Pikmin, I do kind of think like Paper Mario would get, no pun intended, lost in the shuffle. And I kind of think, like, I didn't mean to do that, but as it was coming out of my mouth, I'm like, I gotta say no pun intended. But I really do think that. I think that if Paper Mario is released on Wii U as sort of like the swan song for the system, you know, I think at this point, not a lot of other people are going to be buying Wii U's. I think a lot of people are just, okay, we're going to wait the extra year and a half for NX or whatever, however long it takes. Yeah. And probably less than that now. And I do think that it's smart. I think it's a nice little treat for people who stuck with the Wii U. It's going to be a good game, I'm sure, if they make it anything like Thousand Year Door or Paper Mario 64. And so long as there are party members, I'm already going to be happier than I was with Sticker Star. So.
Well, in that case, you have to hope that your buddy Shigeru Miyamoto stays far away from the development.
Stays way away
Get
from this, right?
him away from Paper Mario. He does not have good ideas for this series.
Miyamoto, we love you, but please stay away from our Paper Mario.
In case people don't know what we're referencing, Sticker Star actually changed drastically in its development based on Mr. Miyamoto's suggestions. One of which was the stickers, which I actually kind of like. I like the idea of a little virtual sticker book. But
I like the stickers too, but I like them as like a battle aspect. I don't like them as like a replacement for the party members.
Oh, I absolutely agree with that. Yeah, I totally agree. But that was Mr. Miyamoto's idea.
Oh, I know, but I think if they make Paper Mario for Wii U, I think there's no reason why they can't bring back the stickers from Sticker Star and have party members.
Yeah, I mean, that would it would involve a lot of tweaking as far as the gameplay goes. Like, if they had party members in Sticker Star and everything was exactly the same, there would have been this overlap and this problem of, like, well, stickers are basically doing the same thing that the party members do. So you got to make sure that the party members are still doing unique things than what the stickers do. So you do need to do a little balancing there. But I agree, like, the gamepad could be your virtual sticker book. I wouldn't care. Yeah. Maybe it would seem a little stale, like, oh, you already did this, but I don't know.
If it has a good story and like party members attached to it, though, it'll already be better. So
yeah, that's the other thing. Mr. Miyamoto did not want there to be a big focus on story, and he also, this is a weird thing that he suggested, I mean to say, demanded. Mr. Miyamoto demanded that there be no original characters, so they all have to be the default Mario characters. In other words, if there's a Wiggler in the game, it just has to be a Wiggler. Toads just have to be Toads. Shy Guys and so on. Like, he didn't want them to be like original characters like they were in the other games, and that to me is like, what in the world is he thinking?
I kind of understand his mindset if he was coming off of Super Paper Mario, because like they went way out there with character designs with like the weird geometric stuff, and so he was probably like, none of this shit. Give me back like what
and I
old
agree.
Classic characters.
I agree that the characters were terrible in that game.
Yeah, I think the way that he just sort of like projected that idea and said we only need like original Mario characters was sort of to get back to the roots of the series. And I don't think he actually meant harm in doing that.
No, of course he did.
But in reality, of course, he did. So.
Unfortunately, he should have looked a little bit further back than Super Paper Mario and realized there were Paper Mario games before that, and they had good characters. Like, there's so many times. I remember there's like that little portion in Sticker Star where you talk to this toad who runs a stand where you can fling your 3D objects up against like a wall, and it turns into the stickers. And I was just like, and it looks like a little carnival booth setting, and I was just like, man, this toad should be like in a jester costume and be silly and stuff, but he's just a toad, so it's like, man, there's no personality going on here. So that's something that needs to come back.
I agree with you, and one of the other things that I think on that topic in terms of Toad, and I kind of want to talk about this just a little bit, is since, not Sticker Star, but since Super Paper Mario, there have been a lot of like new Mario characters sort of like added into the Mario universe, and not just like new characters, but also characters that have kind of gotten like a revival since Super Paper Mario. Like the Koopalings are much more important now than they were in Super Paper Mario. I know they're in Paper Jam, but even then they're like little Mario and Luigi sprites. And I think it'd be interesting to see the Koopalings, Rosalina, Wario, and Waluigi, all these characters sort of get Paper Mario-ized for the next game. Because I think that's something that the games are kind of lacking too, is they have this really rich universe of characters that they could easily just make paper versions of those characters and put them in the game, but they haven't really done that yet. And I don't mean this as a replacement for characters like Bobbery or Cooper, who are like like non-identical versions of Mario enemy party members. I just mean like as side characters in the game. I'd love to see like a Paper Wario or a Paper Waluigi or something.
Mm-hmm. Here's a question. Did you, I know you didn't really like Sticker Star, but did you like the art style of it? Because they really pushed the paper aesthetic pretty far in that. I think the visuals for Sticker Star were pretty fantastic.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I do think the visual aspect of Sticker Star looked really good. Like when they had the little toads that folded out and there were like 10 of them in one toad. Yeah, there was cool stuff with that, and I don't think they should take that away.
And like PD Piranha is a boss in that, and instead of making him look like Paper Mario, they made him look like a paper craft PD Piranha.
Right.
I think that kind of stuff's really cool. I think that they were absolutely heading in the right direction with the art style for that game. Like, really playing up the paper aspect. You know, I wonder if they originally meant for it to be paper, like the N64 game. I don't think that they were really thinking, oh, it's paper. I think that it was just like, oh, these are 2D characters in 3D worlds. And then...
Well, the first reveal of that game revealed the game as Super Mario RPG 2.
Right, yeah.
So
and then I guess maybe when it was localized, they're like, you know what, this is like paper. Mario's like paper in this game. And I guess maybe it caught on from there or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's kind of weird. So yeah, what else do you want to see in the Wii U game other than it being good? Like, is there anything do you have any idea for what the gamepad could do?
I mean, you kind of already mentioned it with the sticker book, but that's something I think that's like very obvious that they could throw on the gamepad. But to be honest, I kind of don't want like a huge amount of like gamepad originality stuff. I want to be able to play this on my Wii U gamepad like while sitting in bed. And I know a lot of people would argue against that. They'd be like, well, just go play one of the 3DS games. Yeah, well, the 3DS games aren't that good. So I want to play like a real Wii U Paper Mario game on my gamepad while sitting in bed. And because of that, I think if there is some type of like battle mechanic that requires the gamepad, hopefully there's like an alternative control scheme where you can use buttons or something to control it.
Mm-hmm. How would you feel about like doing very quick little origami-like attacks, like folding the paper into something on the bottom screen?
Oh, like Okami, where you would draw things, and yeah, I'd love that. I mean, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, that could potentially work if you have like, yeah.
I'd love that.
I could go either way. I mean, if they want to do some fun, actually creative things with the gamepad that don't interrupt like the feeling of the game, great. And if they just want to say, hey, it's been a long time since we've made a true Paper Mario game, and that's what we want to stick to, I'd be very happy about that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much am fine with either, too. Like I said, I'd prefer to just be able to play it on my gamepad and have that option. But yeah, I mean, if they come up with some really original thing, I think really what you just mentioned, like the folding papercraft thing or like the really quick drawings or something, that would be a great way to use the gamepad. So,
yeah, I mean, it sounds like this rumor has a lot of weight to it.
Yeah.
And a paper weight.
Paperweight. I was waiting for you to do it.
And I hope it's true. What is the rumor about when it would launch then? Summer?
Well, I mean, the rumor just said that it's being localized and tested currently, so I imagine that would probably mean summer, and we'd probably get an announcement in the next Nintendo Direct or so if it's really that far along.
This is
because we haven't had a big Nintendo Direct this year so far. Last one was that Smash Brothers one, and in terms of January, normally we get like a big Nintendo Direct in January. We haven't gotten one. It's already pretty late in January, so I don't think we probably will.
No.
And if we do, maybe it'll be like in February, and they'll announce this in February, and we might get it in summer. I don't know.
They also just recently put out a press release for some stuff like Amiibo updates and Twilight Princess. So I doubt they would have done that if they had a Direct prepared soon.
Yeah. And one of the big things we haven't talked about yet, which I also think is like very obvious if they were going to do something with this, is Amiibo functionality in Super Paper Mario. What I'm talking about, Paper Mario for Wii U. I think they could do a lot of cool stuff where they sell like Papercraft or something like that, and you could use that as your Amiibo because they've already tied Amiibo functionality to like Animal Crossing cards and stuff. There's no reason they couldn't do it with like a cool Papercraft Paper Mario Amiibo or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, look at Mr. Game & Watch. He's a pretty flat Amiibo.
Right.
You could just do that with Paper Mario.
Yeah.
All right, Roger. I think that's pretty much exhausted everything we can talk about with.
Well, I actually wanted to ask you a cool question.
Okay, go for it.
Which is that if you could have any 3 Mario enemies added to the game as a party member, who would you like to see?
So they're the Mario enemy, but they're like altered, like Goombella is a Goomba.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
I really love Wiggler as a character. I identify a lot with Wiggler, being incredibly happy-go-lucky and then just going nuts in anger And then going right back to happy. That's generally described a maniac, in other words.
Yeah.
So I would love to see a Wiggler as a party member. Another one they haven't used is a piranha plant. I think that could be kind of funny if it's like in a little pot and it hops along.
Definitely. A piranha plant would be cool.
And we've had a Lakitu.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think those are the only two that I can think of. Can you think of any more?
I mean, for me, I want a chain chomp. I want like a chain chomp that acts like a dog.
You almost had
that. I think would be so funny. Yeah, we almost had it, which is what makes me so mad about Sticker Star. Is he was in there, and like when I was a kid and I played the first Paper Mario, I'm like, for a Paper Mario sequel, I'd love to get a chain chomp, and then we didn't get one in Thousand Year Door, and we didn't get one in Super Paper Mario, and finally I saw the screenshot. I'm like, I'm gonna get a chain chomp. So I'd love to see him. I'd love to see like a rabbit from Nabbit's Race. Like I think that would be kind of cool, because we had Miss Mose. She was like a mouse, so I think it'd be kind of cool to maybe see like an alternate version of Nabbit, maybe like Nabbit's brother or something. That'd be kind of cool. I also really want to see a paperized version of Captain Toad, and whether or not he would be a party member. Maybe he'd be like a special party member that you unlock or something, but I think Captain Toad would be really cool. And you already mentioned it, but I was going to mention it too, which is a piranha plant in a pot. Like that just hops around behind you and then like acts and talks, and I think it'd be really cool.
The Chain Chomp, I could be remembering this wrong, but even in the early days when the Chain Chomp was in Sticker Star, it was just a Chain Chomp. It didn't have a personality, did it?
Yeah, no, but I would want a personality attached to it. Like, I'd want it to act like a dog. Like, I'd want it to be like a stupid, like, and like run around and follow you, and it wouldn't really talk. It would like just say, you know, Chompy looked behind you and acted this way or whatever. I don't know. I think they could do funny things with it.
Yeah, I agree. So, now I'm all excited for new Paper Mario, so this better happen.
Me too! I think this is why I wanted to do this. I know. This is why I wanted to do this discussion, because I figured like both of us would be way more excited about a Wii U Paper Mario game than the one that just came out today, which is Paper Jam.
That's not a Paper Mario game. That's another Mario and Luigi game that's like the same stuff again. So yeah, all right, I'm ready for Paper Mario, and I don't even really care that it's, other than the fact that I'm like, oh, I don't really, you know, I want a new system and start all over. But like I said, I doubt that NX would really make Paper Mario much better. So, and I can just play that. I'd imagine Wii U games will even play on the NX, so.
Sure.
Yeah. Roger.
Yes.
Where can people find you?
They can find me at Rogers Base on YouTube, Rogers Base on Twitter, on Instagram. I'm almost at 10,000 followers on Instagram. Which is
wow.
Cool. Yeah, I know. I got there real fast. And Twitch and Miiverse and every other place basically you could think of. So just search Rogers Base online. You'll find me.
Nice. Roger, thank you very much for getting me excited about a game that might not even happen.
You are very welcome. Woohoo!
Paper Mario doesn't actually talk, though.
That's true, but we can't just be silent at the end of this.
Yes, we can. Watch, I'm gonna do it right now. See? This is my Paper Mario impression. It's pretty good, huh? And done!
Paper Mario!